Hello everyone, this is Tormuse, and today I'm going to be playing another Doki Doki Literature Club mod. This one is Doki Doki New Eyes, which is a Yuri point of view mod. It was made like 2 years before my own Yuri point of view mod that I made. I sort of expected it would be inevitable that people would compare Doki Doki Storm to Doki Doki New Eyes. I'm just going to stop saying Doki Doki in front of the title. Anyway, yeah, New Eyes. I haven't actually played it before. I mean, I played the first in-game day when it came out, and then a whole bunch of stuff went down that I'm not going to get into just now, and I ended up not playing the rest of it. And, you know, in a way, I'm sort of glad it played out that way, because then I didn't have my experience playing this influencing my writing when I made Storm. So I can, yeah. So now I'm just curious to see how this plays out and how different it is, how similar it is to my own creation. Right away, you can see it's using a different sprite for MC. This is one of the first MC sprites made by Childish N, whatever the name is. The same artist did both sprite works, but yeah, this is the earlier one that was popular for a while, but people said he looks too young. It's kind of weird with all these older girls around him, fawning over him. Anyway, moving on. Let's get started. What's his name? I'm gonna go with Tormuse. That's how I roll. Here we go. Huh? Birds. I can hear them, but I'm not sure if I'm still dreaming or not. Where am I? Everything feels so warm. Wait, birds. Is that my ringtone? Why would anyone call me this early, especially on a school morning? I stretch in my bed and I reach for my cell phone. Mom. I can't help but smile. I've been waiting for her to call for so long. Hello? Mom? Yuri, how are you doing, sweetheart? Everything's fine. How about you? Still traveling? Yeah, work has been crazy lately. I've barely had any time to rest. But I wanted to call you as soon as I had a few moments to spare. You should rest some more. You're slowly worsening your own health, you know. Alright, well, enough about me. I have a little surprise for you. A surprise? What do you mean? Well, your birthday is coming up next week, and we haven't seen each other in so long. Wait, don't tell me. Will you be coming home? I will. I can barely contain my excitement. It's been 3 months. 3 whole months without seeing my mother, and she's coming home this weekend? Are you alright, Yuri? Yes, thank you so much. Of course, I would never miss your birthday. I smiled to myself. It's hard to keep in my happiness all to myself. This is the best birthday gift I could ever receive. Well, I think you have to go to school now, right? I'll get back to work. I'll see you on Sunday, sweetheart. Thank you. I love you. Oh, she hung up before hearing me. I gently put my phone on my bed. Mom's coming home. I softly laugh. I can't wait. I grab my uniform from the closet and glance over at the clock. I still have some time left before I have to head out. Quickly get dressed and head for the living room. Yeah, I wanted to comment on the artwork and the background. That was that background gets a fair bit of use because it's a free to use background. I have mine edited to include a knife rack, but yeah, great minds think alike using the same Yuri bedroom background. Anyway, moving on. Get dressed and head for the living room. Seems like it's really nice out today. Everything's purple. Can already tell I'm going to enjoy my walk. Take some eggs from the fridge and turn on the stove. Oh yeah, another thing very different is Yuri's relationship with her mom. Apparently her mom travels a lot and is more talkative and more but there's a sense that they're still distant. Maybe not necessarily as distant as they are in my own in Storm, but anyway, this music is rather loud. Is it loud to you? It's a lot louder than. Okay, I think I might just set that around there. Hope that's better. Let me know in the comments if the volume is wrong. Anyway, moving on. I take some eggs from the fridge and turn on the stove. Nothing tastes better than eggs in the morning. Oh, that's right. I'm in the literature club now. What? Did you just realize that? That means I should bring in a book to read. Wait. Yuri without books? Like what? Was there an alternative to bring in a book to read? Okay. Anyway. I walk over to my bookshelf. It's so full. Maybe I should eventually sell some of these. That one. I grab an old book from the top shelf. Perfect. I smell something coming from the kitchen. Did I? Oh god. I hurry over to the stove. I'd completely forgotten that I was cooking something. No eggs for me then. I sigh. I throw out what's left of the eggs into the bin. I wasn't really that hungry anyway. Carefully place the book inside my school bag. I'm already excited to read it. Can't wait to see the other girls too. Turn on my phone and I look at the picture I took of Monica, Sayuri, and Natsuki. They're the best people I've ever met. I shake my head. I'm getting lost in my own thoughts again. I'll end up being late if I keep wasting my time like this. I throw on a coat and head outside. The sun is shining brightly. It's really peaceful around here. I just love the scenery. I lock my door and I start walking down the street towards the school. Take slow and deep breaths as I make my way down the street. Everyone around me is happily chatting amongst themselves and wishfully gazing at the cherry trees. It makes me smile to see them all enjoying their time here. Suddenly I see a familiar figure in the distance. Nuts! Some people turn and give me concerned glances, so I lower my head as I pick up my pace and walk towards the familiar figure. Natsuki, hi! Oh, Yuri, you're out early today. It seems like you are too, though. Of course. Thought of the literature club made me too excited to stay home any longer. It's always weird to see Natsuki so interested in the literature club. She only reads manga. Not that it bothers me, of course, but I still don't find manga to be adequate literature. Why don't we walk to school together? Sure. Natsuki blissfully looks around at all of our surroundings, like she doesn't have a care in the world. We both love nature, so we always end up staying a little too long in the empty streets looking at the trees. I turn my head to see Natsuki staring at me. Is there something wrong, Natsuki? Well, looks like you're in a good mood today. Is there any particular reason for that? Oh, that's right. My mother called me this morning. She'll be visiting me this weekend. That's great news. You think I could come by and say hi? I haven't seen her in so long. That would be great. Again, the relationship's very different here. Apparently, not only have Yuri and Natsuki been friends for a long time, but they're they're close enough that Natsuki's met her mom. This despite the fact that her mom apparently doesn't come around much. Interesting. And that comment about, I have literature club today. Like it came as a surprise. It kind of sounded like it implied. Is this supposed to be like the first day they go to the literature club? Oh, why is this? Yeah. Anyway, moving on. That would be great. I'll let you know when you can drop by. Thank you. Soon enough, the entrance of the school becomes visible to us. We both make our way to the main courtyard. I'll get going. Classes are starting soon. I'll see you later. Of course. Have a good day, Natsuki. You too. She turns as she waves at me and heads towards her class. I sigh as I begin walking towards mine. It's a shame Natsuki and I aren't in the same class. I barely know anyone in mine, and I find myself to be slightly uncomfortable around the other students. Everybody's already getting ready to work. I sit at my desk and I take my notebook out of my bag. I flip through it, skimming through some of the poems I've written over the last few weeks. It's not right to be writing poems instead of paying attention in class, but I can't simply ignore my passions like that. I heavily sigh. Let's get to work then. The sun is still shining. God, maybe I shouldn't have brought a coat. Well, it wasn't this hot in the morning. Huh? I look around me. Everybody's gone. Did I space out? I look at the clock. Class has been over for 30 minutes. What was I thinking? I get up from my chair and pack up my belongings. The others may already be waiting for me in the club room. Silence fills the corridors. That's a bit odd. The girls are usually talking and audibly having fun. Suddenly, I feel a little tap on my waist. What are you doing, you dummy? I've been searching for you everywhere. I think I spaced out during class.
Always the same, huh? Guess I can't really change that about you after all.
Hey, that's me.
Just kidding, dummy. Still haven't found Sayuri.
Isn't she here already? That's weird. She's always the first one.
I know, but I just can't seem to find her. She might be in another building, but I just don't feel like walking all the way over there. Let's just go and relax for a bit, okay?
Well, alright.
I'm a bit worried about Sayuri, though. It's unusual for her to be late to the club.
Natsuki and I entered the room without a second thought. As we enter, we're welcomed by Monica, who's looking out the window. She turns around to greet us. Oh, Yuri, hello. I was worried you were a bit late.
Oh, she's just lost in her thoughts as usual, don't worry. I'm more worried about Sayuri, though. I couldn't find her anywhere.
Is that so? That's weird. I think I saw her enter the secondary building, but I'm not too sure.
Why did she leave our building?
Most likely to go and see Tormuse, I believe. His classes usually finish around this time. And she said she'd try to make him join the club, so... Sayuri keeps talking about her childhood friend, but I've never met him. I wonder what type of person he is. Oh, so that's why. Well then, no need to worry. Let's all have fun and wait for Sayuri and her friend.
Oh, by the way.
What is it?
I made cupcakes. Told you I'd make some yesterday, so I spent my evening slaving away to produce these delicious treats.
I glance around the room until I spot her tray at one of the desks. Now that I think about it, the room does have a slightly different scent to it. Oh, so you really made them. Sorry, back up. I'm just... Someone commented on the logistics. Sorry, this is a thing like that fits in the original game too. Like, did Natsuki like carry a tray of cupcakes around with her at school all day to bring them into the club room at the end? And this makes it even weirder because they arrived after Monica. They arrived after Monica, but the cupcakes are already there? So, does that mean that they've been there since yesterday or something? Like, now this is making me even more confused about the logistics of how Natsuki got the cupcakes there. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just rambling, moving on. You really made them. Let's wait for Sayuri before we eat them, alright? Alright. Put my bag near my chair and I sit at a table. I guess I could kill some time by reading for a little while. I take the book that I picked this morning out of my bag. I read it a few times, but I suppose that doesn't really matter. After all, you only start to really appreciate a story after reading through it a few times. Before opening the book, I glance at Natsuki. She's already looking through the closet. She's probably looking for a manga to read. As I start reading the introduction, I hear the classroom door open. I jerk my head up and I see Sayuri followed by another person enter the room. Presumably Tormuse? Everyone, a new member is here. I told you, don't call me new member. When Sayuri was describing him to us, I thought she was overdoing it, but I can just sense a great aura around him. Yeah. I can see, I can see why this art piece got rejected. I mean, like the art quality is distinctly different. Yeah, like the new one just fits in so much better. Oh well. That's what you get for being a pioneer, I guess. I mean, well, they were on the, by the time Storm came out, the newer artwork had been out for a long time. Anyway, moving on. I step forward to greet him. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayuri always says nice things about you.
Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere.
It's obvious that Natsuki is embarrassed by Tormuse's presence. She knew this situation was coming, though. I, too, feel slightly uncomfortable, but something is compelling me to go talk to him. Ah, Tormuse, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. Tormuse has a bewildered look on his face. So bewildered. Sorry. One thing I'm noticing is that there's a lot less frequent changes in expression in Storm.
And Storm, I put a lot of work into making people's expressions change constantly, and basically making everything look a lot more dynamic. I know I'm sort of the odd one out, and like most people don't want to put that kind of work into a mod, but it kind of lines like that. He has a bewildered look on his face, and meanwhile there's no change. It makes it, I don't know, just feels a little off. But moving on. Anyway, I don't know what he was expecting by coming here, but it certainly wasn't us. He shyly smiles. Oh, there you go. There's an expression change. He shyly smiles at us. I feel a little dumb just standing here. I sit in the nearest chair. Troy's gaze is locked on Natsuki. That'll just make her even more uneasy. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry? Natsuki? She's always mean in these situations. Whenever there's a boy involved, Natsuki becomes extremely overwhelmed. Although it doesn't seem like she hates Tormuse. Quietly sigh. No matter how much I keep telling her to stay calm, she just keeps acting this way. As she said, I can't really change that about you. Sorry, whisper something into Tormia's ear. He looks disappointed, but what did she tell him? Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. She points a finger at me with a big smile on her face. I'm not really that smart, actually. I just like reading. God, this is embarrassing. Don't say things like that. Tormia's expression softens. Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Tormuse. So Monica knew him already. That's why she didn't look too surprised when he entered the room. She looks happy to see him. Were they already friends before? You too, Monica. Come sit down, Tormuse. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Maybe I should go get some tea ready? What if he doesn't like tea? Well, let's just hope he does. Then how about I make some tea as well? Natsuki nods at me and we both walk to the back corner of the room. I open the closet and I pick up the old tea set. I don't even remember where we got this one from. Doesn't he annoy you already? Natsuki? What? It's being annoying. He barely talks and all he does is look around like an idiot. You don't need that kind of person here. He's being more aggressive than usual. Calm down. He's not here to bother us, you know. Plus, it looks like he's actually interested. Maybe a bit shy, that's why. Who cares? Keep an eye on him. She sighs and she brings the tray to the table. Oh, no more water. Guess I could go get some at the fountain then. I head for the door. Water fountain. There should be one by the stairs if I recall correctly. Whoa! I chuckle a bit. Seems like Sayori just saw Natsuki's cupcakes. She's always so expressive. I'd love to be as straightforward as she is. As I walk away from the club room, I hear everyone happily chatting. Here it is. Put the kettle under the faucet. It's incredibly slow to fill. God, why won't... I don't know what voice to use for that. God, why won't this work? It should be... Huh? Is that Monica's voice? Shouldn't she be in the club room? I look around me, but she's nowhere to be found. Did I just imagine it? Maybe I should have eaten more this morning. Okay, I guess that's... I think the implication is that Monica's doing some kind of coding thing and trying to alter the game, and Yuri's hearing her for some reason. Like hearing her as a disembodied voice. It's a different interpretation from what I went with. Is it? Is this all okay? Oh, interesting. The history goes much farther back. It goes all the way. It looks like it goes all the way back to the beginning. Anyway, yeah. There's another comment I was going to make. I'm just reminded. I'm going to endlessly compare this to Storm. Like in Storm, the last round of editing, I axed 600 lines because there was a lot of redundancy and like over explaining things, and certain things catch my eye that are like, I would have cut that out. I don't know. It's just a different style, I guess. Anyway, moving on. Maybe I should have eaten more this morning. If I hadn't burned those eggs. I grab the kettle now full and I head back to the club room. Tormes looks at me for an instant. This is embarrassing. Get some tea ready and I place down teacups in front of everyone. Keep a whole tea set in this classroom? And don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Oh, maybe he really doesn't like tea. Did I do something wrong? Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... That was mean. I'm just trying to be nice. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. Yeah, and of course the other obvious change, Yuri's internal monologue is a lot more angsty in mine. There's a lot more prone to stress and anxiety. Anyway. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. I slowly sigh in relief. That at least makes the similarity between us. Monica chuckles and smiles at Tormes. So it made you consider the literature club? He ponders for a moment. Looks like he doesn't even know why he's here in the first place. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. It'll make you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. It's rare to see Monica this cheerful. I glance at Natsuki. Contrary to Monica and myself, it seems as though she's still not willing to kindly acknowledge Tormes' presence. Monica, I'm surprised. How can we decide to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. I giggle and nod at Sayori. Indeed, Monica has been making this club a welcoming place for everyone. I really should thank her someday. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Must be hard to start a new club. And you could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. I'm looking forward to the cultural festival, actually. I wonder what kind of exciting activities Monica will come up with. You know it. Tormes looks amused. It's hard to tell if he finds this entertaining or if he's just nervous about being in his situation to which he's not accustomed to. Take a sip of my tea. Looks like he's already done drinking his, so he likes my tea? For some reason that makes me a tad happy. I think I recall that he said literature isn't a common pastime for him, but if he's here, he may have a slight interest in it. I'd like to know more about him. Yeah, see, like, stuff like that, like, it's... like, it's over explaining her reasons for wanting to get to know him instead of just having the line just speak for itself. Which, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I'm totally not guilty of that myself, but I mean, it could be worse. I mean, I'm not saying it's terrible or anything. It's just the things like that stand out for me because of all the editing that I did in my own. Anyway, moving on. So Tormes, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, manga. His voice is barely audible. It looks like he isn't really interested in literature then. I know someone who has the same hobby though. I glance at Natsuki. She opens her mouth but stays silent. She most likely is trying to choose whether to be hostile or friendly. Makes sense, she doesn't even have any friends that are also interested in manga. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. That can change. Is he seriously willing to try reading actual literature? Maybe I could introduce him to some of my favorite works. I'm just getting ahead of myself again. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. So many things I want to say. Is it really okay? My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me.
and telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. There are so many possibilities when writing a story. Some people write because they want to convey emotions, others because they want to create their own world. In my opinion, both reading and writing are two incredibly beautiful occupations. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Ah, I read a horror book once. Huh? What did he say? I was so absorbed in what I was saying I didn't even hear him. Malika looks at me with a surprised expression. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri, for someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment.
Ah, I hate horror.
Oh, why is that?
Well, She glances at Tormuse. I know her well, but this is the first time I've seen her act this way. She was aggressive, then quiet, now embarrassed. This is weird. Never mind.
And that's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki?
What? What gives you that idea?
You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called...
Don't say it out loud. Give that back.
Fine, fine.
In the end, I never got to finish my conversation with Tormuse. Maybe this talk was boring for
him. Your cupcakes, your poems? Everything you do is just as cute as you are.
She sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute. It's so weird to have no change in her expression when she says that line. I laugh. These two are childish, but that makes them even more interesting. I'd love to eventually spend some time with Sayuri. Maybe she could teach me how to be more outgoing. After all, she's Tormuse's friend. She must know how to be interesting. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess, sometimes. Why do you care?
I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime?
No.
By Natsuki's seemingly confident stature, I can see that she's afraid of people's opinions. So she doesn't want Tormuse to judge her. Why? I thought she made it clear that she hated him. So many questions I can't ask right now.
You wouldn't like them.
Ah, not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. One of the valuable lessons I've learned in my writing sessions is that it's important to write for oneself. I never wanted to share my writing with others either. One of the reasons being that I'm uneasy around my classmates, another reason being that I'm scared of what they'll think. This is probably what Natsuki is feeling right now. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers.
Maybe I've said too much.
I really want to share my work, but what if Tormuse doesn't like it? I don't want to sound full of myself. What am I supposed to do?
I guess it's the same for Yuri.
I wanted to read everyone's poems. Isn't she concerned about writing poems? Now that I think about it, I've never seen her write. I wonder what kind of poems she's written before. There's an awkward silence in the room. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. I know that tone. Malika's probably come up with a great idea once again. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even.
Sorry, oops. Well, that line, great idea. Once again, it's that trope, informed ability. Someone was complaining that I do too much telling instead of showing, and so that's where my head is. I'm thinking of it's informing the audience that she comes up with a great idea all the time. Anyway, moving on.
What? I was expecting anything but this. I can't share my poems just like that. I look at Natsuki. She looks even more stressed than before. Now this is an embarrassing situation. Yeah, let's do it. I envy Sayuri's enthusiasm. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Tormuse? She happily smiles at him. Hold on, there's still one problem. Eh, what's that? I never said I would join this club. Sorry, may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at and, oh, I see. Why'd I get my hopes up anyway? Doesn't really matter, I just thought that he'd be an interesting person. But, I'm sorry, I thought... That's another weird thing. He feels compelled to have people slide off the side and on the side every single time. And he doesn't have... Like, there's room for all 4 characters on the screen at the time. You don't have to do that, but oh well, whatever. Anyway, Tormuse, you all... Even Natsuki looks disappointed. Trouble understanding him. Why would he even come here if he doesn't want to join? This is making me think way too much. Right. Okay, we decided then. I'll join the literature club. I sigh in relief, thank God. Yes, I'm so happy! She wraps her arms around Tormuse. Seeing her this excited is so heartwarming. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment.
If you really just came for the cupcakes, I'd be super pissed.
And that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. I smile at Tormuse. He still looks a little embarrassed, but I feel like he's already getting used to us. Hope I'll be able to share my interests with him. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment? Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. She intensely stares at Tormuse. Tormuse, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah, he doesn't really seem too thrilled, even though we have to write poems. Although I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes up with for the poems we have to write. I'm certain his writing is good, considering the positive aura around him. Hey Tormuse, since we're all here, you want to walk home together? Sure, might as well. Yay! 2 of them head to the door, waving at us as they exit. It's just me, Monika, and Natsuki now. Monika sighs and looks at me. No, that was stressful, wasn't it? But I feel like he'd make a great member.
Don't you see how he's acting? He doesn't even like literature. I tell you, something's off with him.
Come on, Natsuki, it doesn't even seem like you hated him that much towards the end of our meeting. I saw the look on your face when you talked about manga. He doesn't really look like a bad person in my opinion. Well, he didn't talk all that much, but it looks like you had fun talking to him, Yuri. Oh, It's true that our talk was enjoyable. I rarely talk to boys, but as embarrassing as it wasn't a bad experience. I think he has an enjoyable personality.
Did he corrupt you, Yuri? How can you like such a bean sprout?
What's that? What says the shortest person in the room? What?
Just forget it.
Anyway, Sayuri and Tormuse may be gone, but we still have a few things to do. Monika points to the table. Indeed, the cupcake tray is still dirty, and the tea set is still there. I'll take care of the tea set. Natsuki, can you put the tray away?
Sure.
I stare at Tormuse's cup. Uh-oh. You're getting a little yonder already? There's actually something I didn't consider in my own mod. That Yuri, like her Act 2 persona, where she gets all, quote unquote crazy about MC. She could have become obsessed with his teacup. Something I failed to consider. Oh well. I can see this. I can just already see this coming back later. Anyway, moving on. Well, seems like you enjoyed the tea. Gather all the teacups and put them on the tray. I'll have to clean them.
Oh, hey Yuri. I have to clean the tray. Why don't we head to the fountain together?
Yeah, sure. Monika is just sitting at a desk reading a book. I suppose she doesn't really have anything else to do. We'll be right back, Monika. No answer. The book she's reading must be quite captivating.
Let's just go. It won't take too long.
Natsuki opens the door and blissfully heads over to the staircase. I was never about to find out whose voice I heard earlier.
wanted to ask Monica, but that'd be too awkward. There's no need to worry about it after all. I grab the cups and I clean them one by one. I can sense Natsuki looking at me. Without looking behind me, I start talking. I know she's listening.
Is everything alright, Natsuki?
Of course. Just irritates me to see that you like such a...
Wait, what do you mean by like?
You... what? Don't tell me.
No, not at all.
This is a confusing line of dialogue. String of dialogue here.
This isn't... God, Natsuki, don't imagine things.
I mean, you can like whoever you want, but that guy...
Just forget it. I'm merely enjoying his company. It's his first day here, after all.
I put all the clean cups back in the tray. Yeah, we'll see how he does tomorrow. Maybe he won't be that bad of a writer. Of course she's looking forward to it. But it's always been hard for her to admit that kind of thing. What was that? Sorry, there's a line that flashed on the screen. Yuri, be careful!
Ow!
Seems like I tripped over something. I was absorbed in my thoughts and I kind of... Natsuki grabs my arms and helps me back up. God, Yuri, don't scare me like that. You alright? Did you hurt yourself? Look down at my hand. There's a huge cut on my index finger. One of the shards of the now broken cups must have sliced it. I don't know, did she break her tea set? Or is it her tea set? I mean, I think the original canon says... It indicates that it's her own set, but there was a line here which said something like she didn't know where it came from, so I don't know. Maybe it's just the classroom's tea set. A little odd for a classroom to have a tea set, but whatever. A few drops of blood fall on the floor, making funny little patterns. Blood red is a beautiful color. Yuri, are you listening to me?
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Don't just stand there staring at your finger. You need to disinfect that immediately. God, what would you do without me? Just follow me.
Well, what about the tea set?
You're always worrying about the wrong stuff. I'll ask Monica to take care of it. Just wait for me here. Natsuki runs to the club room. She acts much differently when she's not around other people. I glance at my finger again. I did cut myself pretty deeply. I should have been more careful. Soon enough, I hear Natsuki running back. Alright, Monica's gonna come to take care of your mess. Let's just go to the infirmary to disinfect your poor little finger.
This isn't necessary, Natsuki. I can manage.
No! What if it gets infected? Don't even think about arguing. Come with me, now! I chuckle. How could she still be cute when she's trying to be authoritative? We would go down the stairs to the first floor. Natsuki's holding my hand and dragging me behind her. Aww.
Natsuri confirmed.
You're holding hands, how sweet. This must look kind of ridiculous considering the height difference, however she doesn't seem to care. Can't help but smile. Natsuki's a great friend, that's for sure. Suddenly she looks behind her, straight at me. What are you smiling for? You're supposed to be agonizing over your poor little finger. I can see she's suppressing her laughter.
Come on, don't tease me, Natsuki. You're the one who was being excessively dramatic over it.
You're the one who tripped, dummy. We both laugh. It always ends up this way when we're together. Natsuki's a funny girl. She just has trouble showing it to some people. Hey now, don't go thinking I forgot about your deadly wound. Let's just get going. She opens the door to the infirmary and we both walk inside. It's funny. The thing with playing through so many mods, you see a lot of recurring backgrounds because people tend to go to the same free to use pool of backgrounds. Anyway, I've seen this one a couple mods before, I think. Anyway, this room makes me shiver every single time I'm in here. I just don't like it. I'm generally scared of hospitals and such. Natsuki heads to the student pantry and grabs some disinfectant along with an adhesive bandage. She gently takes my hand and sprays some disinfectant on the wound. It's interesting that Natsuki's like, isn't there supposed to be a school nurse or something that's supposed to tend to these things? Oh well.
Natsuki?
Hmm?
How come you're so worried over a little cut?
Because I'm your friend, dummy. Think I'd like to see my friends getting hurt?
We're talking about a little cut, you know. I wasn't going to die.
Of course, I know that. As a friend, it's my duty to take care of you.
Well then, thank you, Natsu.
God, I hope it. I already told you not to call me Natsu. My full name is good enough, you know.
Natsu's more poetic. Reminds me of summer.
Why is that? You're kidding, right? Natsuki is Japanese for summer hope, or so I'm told. Anyway.
I don't know, it just does. But if you insist.
Natsuki puts the bandage on my finger and sighs. Be more careful next time, alright?
I will, don't worry. Thanks for the help.
Heh, you owe me one now.
I don't think I'd be of any use to you, you know.
Who knows? I'll strike when you least expect it.
Natsuki laughs and opens the door of the infirmary. We quickly walk to the staircase. Monica must be waiting for us. I glance at the fountain. Seems like Monica cleaned up everything, and I'll have to thank her for cleaning my mess.
Don't trip again, dummy. You really should stop getting lost in your thoughts.
It's not my fault, you know. I'm always thinking about something.
I know that. I mean, it's pretty obvious. But one day you might hurt yourself pretty badly if you're not careful.
Don't worry, Natsuki. I'll be fine. How can I not think about anything? There have been so many good things happening lately. Tormi's arrival, my mother coming back home. I'm truly thankful. I open the club door and I step in. You sure took your time, girls. Natsuki didn't even explain what happened. I just tripped in the corridor and sliced my finger, but Natsuki wanted to disinfect it, so...
I saved your life, basically.
Monica laughs with Natsuki. Oh, I thank you, Natsuki. What a dangerous situation I was in. You too, I swear. Anyway, since it's still early, why don't we hang out together? You go and have a walk near the park, don't you think?
It's kind of interesting that the first day is being dragged out so much longer than the original thing. I mean, it's sort of. I sort of feel like, well, you know, I should probably. I'll get into this later. I'll just move on.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've spent time together outside of school. It's a shame Sayuri isn't here, though. Do you think we should call her?
She's probably spending time with Tormuse. Let's not bother her. She went home early, so she's probably not willing to go out.
We definitely have to ask her to hang out with us sometime this week. I feel like she's been avoiding us lately. I don't think she is. She just enjoys spending time with Tormuse, in my opinion. Oh well, then shall we get going then? I'd like to be back home before it gets dark.
Yeah.
Let's go. You'll grab our bags and head out of the club room. Monica locks the door behind her. She shoves the key in her bag and we walk down the stairs, exiting the school. It's still warm out. This walk is going to be enjoyable. I just know it. And where should we go? There will be too many students at the main park, so let's go somewhere else.
I know. Let's go see the cherry blossoms. There's a path nearby that leads right to them. Could be cool.
Good idea. I saw them this morning. They're really beautiful. And cherry blossoms it is, then. As we walk, Natsuki hums to herself. Seems like she's in a much better mood now than she was when we were back at the club. Monica walks with a grace and elegance, looking all around her as she does so. And as usual, I'm thinking, can't wait to see Mom again. I want her to walk here with me too. Make a left and go down a little side street. There you go. Wow, I didn't know there was such a place so close to our school.
Me neither. I just happened to find it while roaming around town one day. I often come here when I feel like being alone.
You enjoy being alone?
Well, of course. Sometimes I do. It can feel good to get away from all the people that are close to you. Well, sometimes.
I don't really understand that. I hate being alone. Back before I met Natsuki, I always felt rejected. I would never want to be alone again.
Anyway, that doesn't matter. Now you know about this place. What do you think about it, Monica?
Monica turns around. She was taking a picture of the scenery with her phone. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. All these colors and this sweet scent, it's amazing. Thanks for showing us your secret place, Natsuki.
It's not really my secret place, but I'm glad you enjoy it.
Anyway, girls, I want to know, what do you honestly think about Tormuse? Doesn't even take a split second for Natsuki to start talking.
I don't think it's a bad person, but I can't seem to find a reason as to why he's joined the club. So I had to go and get him, so I'm pretty sure he wasn't really interested. It's just, I'm uneasy around him. I don't like him. Or maybe I do to a certain extent. You know what? I don't even know. All I know is he's breaking my routine, and it bothers me. It's, Natsuki being strangely forthcoming about talking about her emotions. Anyway, pretty sure Natsuki isn't really sure what she's saying. We're the only people she's actually used to, so I can understand how she's feeling. I look over at Monica, who's staring straight at me. Oh, that's right, she's waiting for my feedback. Well, I'd say he's an enjoyable person. Looks like he's interested in what we're saying, and even though he doesn't read any kind of literature, he's trying his best. He did say he could change his habits in order to read some more. We'll just have to see where this goes, but I have a good feeling about it. And what about you, Monica? You look pretty happy to see him. Considering all the nice things Sayuri said about him, I was definitely looking forward to having him stop by. I wasn't disappointed. He's a calm person, and as you said, he's trying his best for us. Unlike what Natsuki's saying, I have a good feeling about him being in the club. Doesn't feel out of place, you know? But you'll get to like him at some point, Natsuki. I'm sure of that. We'll see. Honestly, I just want to see what he can write. That'll definitely give me an idea of who he is, and if I can trust him. Natsuki's right. Analyzing someone's writing is a good way to learn more about his or her personality. This conversation is making me even more curious about what he'll come up with. It's already getting late. I think I'm going to head home. I enjoyed spending time with you guys. Let's do it again with Sayuri and Tormuse someday. With Tormuse? Of course. Say after the festival, when everybody will know him a little bit better. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. She turns around and quickly walks toward the main street. I sigh. With Tormuse? Won't he get bored at some point? Hey Yuri, you know I'm still here, right? I just got lost in your thoughts while I'm here. I'm sorry, Natsuki. Shouldn't you be heading home too? Not really. I'm in no particular rush. You? Of course not, since I live alone. I have to purchase something at the mall, so if you want to come with me... Of course I do! What are we going to buy? It's a bit... well, you'll see. Yeah, really dragging this first day out. I mean, you know, I guess stuff's happening and it informs character. Okay, I guess I'll say what I was going to say earlier now. My understanding is that Sukadev wanted to make this story for New Eyes exist in the same canon as his previous work, Rain Clouds, which is a Sayuri point of view mod. But in that case, he's sort of written himself into a corner because, like, a lot of Rain Clouds is Sayuri being by herself, and if this is going to be in that same canon, then that means Sayuri can't be present anymore. Because she'd be by herself at this point. So that means if he wants to include any new scenes, he's what am I trying to say here? Yeah, he has to write a lot of extra scenes which move away from the literature club. And anyway, moving on. I'm just going to move on. Alright then. I take a quick picture of the scenery with my phone and I put it in my bag. We both walk back to the main street. The mall is right next to us. It's weird that there are no students around us. Did we really stay in the alley that long? Natsuki and I enter the mall. I make an immediate turn after the entrance and I head to the back of one of the halls. A cutlery? Why would you even want to go in there? Well, do you remember how I told you my father had a knife collection? Ooh. Father had a knife collection, past tense. So her father is no longer in the picture, apparently. and interesting that it's her father that has the knife collection, not Yuri herself. Of course I do. It's not a typical thing to hear. Well, before he left us, he asked me to keep an eye on it. Is left us a euphemism for dying, or did he just leave? Yeah, before he left us, as to keep an eye on it. Since then, I've been occasionally buying knives to add to the collection. You know, knives are beautiful items. They're a good representation of a country's culture. They're the best tools humans have ever created.
Oh, I see. It's nice of you to spend your money to contribute to your father's hobby. Let's see what they have in stock then.
I look at all the different knives the shop has to offer. I've already purchased most of them, but there are a few new ones that have really caught my attention. It's hard to decide. Which one would Dad have liked? Yeah, would he have liked? That implies I'm leaning towards he's dead. Probably. I guess we'll find out. Oh, that's neat. I guess I actually get a choice. How about that? A purple dagger, a pocket knife, or a butterfly knife? I don't even know what a butterfly knife is. I guess I'll go with purple just because, you know, Yuri's hair is purple and stuff. Match all her furniture. Yeah, go with purple. I pick up the large dagger. Uh-oh. It has a purple handle and the blade is pretty sharp. It's not that expensive either. It's really beautiful. Put the knife on the counter and I pay for it.
Wow, it's beautiful. Really like it. Make sure you don't slice your finger again, though.
God, how long are you going to tease me about this? Natsuki laughs and exits the shop. I follow her out at the mall.
I'm gonna have to head back home. Thanks for letting me come with you.
I hope you didn't think that I was too weird. Was that too straightforward?
Of course not. It was cool. You're totally right. Knives are interesting. You'll have to show me your collection one day.
Well then, I will. So Natsuki's met Yuri's mother, but she hasn't seen Yuri's knife collection. We're establishing details of how close their relationship has gotten, or is. See you tomorrow, Natsuki.
See you, Yuri.
She waves at me and walks away. That was an incredibly good day. I stopped walking for a second. If Natsuki's acting the way she is with Tormuse, it can't mean, no, she'd act differently. I'm just imagining things, right? I gently open my front door and enter my house. Don't gently open doors. Oof, this is the loud music again. I put my bag on the floor and I sit on the couch. I'm exhausted. Text message? I literally just left Natsuki and Monica a few moments ago. Why would they need something so soon? What? Literally? As opposed to figuratively, Yuri? Yuri, the literature expert, wouldn't misuse the word literally. Darn it. Sorry, moving on. I get my phone out of my bag. Mom again? Call me back? Something happened? She's supposed to be working right now. I dial her number. Yuri? Hello, didn't you already call me this morning? I did, but I'm afraid I have some bad news. Oh no. No. Please don't tell me she... What is it? Something wrong? Oh, something serious, but I'm afraid I may not be able to come this weekend. I'll try coming anyway, of course, but I have a big meeting scheduled for Saturday and I won't be able to cancel it. But you said... I know, Yuri, but my work is really important. I'll keep you updated later this week, alright? Alright, Mom. Good. Have a lovely evening, sweetheart. She hung up. I know she said she wasn't entirely sure she would be able to come, but why does my heart feel so broken? I just wanted to see my mother, nothing more. What's more important than seeing your own family? Maybe she didn't even want to visit me in the first place. I guess there's not much I can do about it. I glance at my bag. That's right, I bought a new knife for Dad's collection. I pick up the knife and I walk to the office. The door is locked, as usual. Didn't we establish that Yuri lives by herself? Her mom's never around, and apparently her dad's out of the picture. So, why does she lock the door in her own house where she lives by herself? I don't know. Turn the key and step in. It smells like dust. I should clean this room someday. Dad's folders are still on the desk. Never really thought about tidying his things. That way it just looks like he's still here, still there. Deep down, I'm hoping I'll come in and see him drinking his coffee at his desk like he used to. I place a knife on the shelf along with the other ones. As I do so, I notice the bandage Natsuki has placed on my finger. Now that I think about it, it didn't hurt when I cut my finger. Uh-oh. We're getting into Yuri's cutting habit now. I mean, that's an inevitable thing with any Yuri mod. Here we go. Actually, it didn't really feel that bad at all. Didn't feel good either. Or did it? I can't tell. Natsuki was so worried. Seeing the color of my blood was captivating. I hesitantly grabbed the knife I just put on the shelf. Just one. I slowly touched my forearm with the blade. A few drops of blood slide down my arm. It tickles a bit, but it still doesn't hurt. Fascinating. All those beautiful, deep colors inside of my own body. This is... What am I doing? I put the knife back on the shelf. Why did I even do that? Am I insane? Is it because I'm sad, or just because I'm curious? This is wrong. This is very wrong. I turn around and I quickly exit the office without looking behind me. I slowly exhale. What are you doing, Yuri? This isn't you. Maybe I should just write something for now, for tomorrow. I need to get my mind off of things. Sorry, I'm going to pause the recording for just a second. Sorry, I just need to get some water. So apparently this is Yuri's origin story for her cutting habit. She just randomly felt like doing it one day because it didn't hurt. I'm going to reserve comment for now. I need to get my mind off things. And here I thought Mom would come this weekend. She did say she wasn't sure, though. Maybe she's just playing surprise? Yes, that's probably it. She must be planning surprise. I grab my notebook and a pen and I get ready to write a poem. I need to write something the others will like. Oh hey, I get another choice. I'm going to save it again. Something about nature, something symbolic, something about loneliness. I mean, regardless, she ends up writing Ghost into the Light, right? So I think something about loneliness would fit best with that, or something symbolic, maybe. What happens if I select something about nature? I'm curious. After going out with Natsuki and Monica and seeing the cherry blossoms, I feel inspired. I write a few lines in my notebook. It's not too bad, maybe a bit short, but it's not bad. Huh, oh neat. Original poetry. All nature has a feeling, woods, fields, brooks are life eternal, and in silence they speak happiness beyond the reach of books. There is nothing mortal in them, their decay is the green life of change to pass away, and come again in blooms revivified, its birthless heaven eternal its stay. And with the sun and moon shall still abide beneath their day night and heaven wide. It's not that bad, as I said, but I don't think it'll do for tomorrow. I flip the page and I get ready to write another poem. Can I go through all of the options? I'm going to go with something symbolic. I'd like to write something deep. That has a hidden meaning in a way. I write and I write, and I erase quite a few lines until I come up with something I like. I'm fairly happy with what I've created. The tendrils... Okay, this is Ghost in the Light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. Last remaining... Yeah, it's the same classic poem from the original game. I'm not even going to bother reading it. It's not bad. I'm pretty sure Tormuse will... well, I'm not doing this for him, but I hope you'll like it. There we go. I stuff the poem in my bag. I look at my forearm. It's only one little cut, yet why does it feel like one huge mistake? What was I thinking? What would Mom say if she saw it? Would she hate me? Would she leave me? I can't think about this. I get up from the couch and I head to the kitchen. I'd gladly make some eggs again, but I'm not going to risk it. be pretty sad to see my house burn down. I grab a few fruits and I go back to the couch. Get my book out of my bag whilst I take a bite of my apple. Of my apple. I think it's a typo. This may not be the best way to spend an evening, but it feels nice. Is it already getting dark? Guess I was too absorbed by what I was reading. How can people write such captivating stories? I wish I could be as talented as they are. Such an incredible power to be able to express your feelings with the right words. I wonder if I'll ever get there. Or if I'll ever be able to communicate my feelings, to thank Natsuki or Monica, or tell my mother I miss her. I put the book on my lap and I look at the ceiling. There's so many good people in this world. It'd be great to be one of them. To make a change. Close my eyes. I'm so tired. Today was a good day in the end. It'll be okay. Mom will be home. She's just planning a surprise. I'll see everyone tomorrow. Natsuki will be there for me. I will... I guess she'll see. Yuri? I don't know what to use for that. Yeah, Dad, you see things... Dad, you see things aren't looking good for Dad. You know that he loves you. It's not his fault. He wants to see you again. Please grant his last wish. He told me it was the only thing he wanted. Please do it, Yuri. Please. Don't leave him alone. No. My breath is uneven. I don't feel so good. What time is it? Did I spend the night here? Okay, we're going into the next day, so I think this seems like a good time to save, and I'm going to come back to this another time. Yeah, because I'm an hour into it. I think this is a good time to leave off for today. Yeah, so that last little, I guess that was a dream sequence, seems to imply it's an interesting bit of backstory that apparently Yuri's dad, not just that he died, but that she was unwilling to spend his last moments with him. And there's probably some regret there. Well, I guess we'll see where that goes. Yeah. Yeah. So very different origin story for Yuri's cutting habit. In Storm, it was a long established cutting habit that she was trying to get over. And this I guess we're seeing the beginnings of it. In Storm, her habit was born of a sense of guilt and wanting to punish herself, and it's curiosity, I guess, or maybe there's something deeper than that, or we're just not seeing it yet. I mean, hey, maybe there's a sense of guilt in there too. I mean, if she didn't like failing to go see her father on his deathbed, essentially, that's something that's going to haunt you. Yeah, so we'll see how that factors into that. Also, rather curious choice to establish that apparently Monica and Natsuki are like lifelong friends, or at least are very close, so much that they spend, not only do they spend time in the club, but they spend time outside of the club too, and like going out late into the evening, which incidentally is different from the established canon. In the original game, in Act 3, Monica's room, Monica makes her remarks that they never spent any time outside of the club, that they just never got that close. So, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's just this is a mod, so it's allowed to be different. The reason I bring it up is that Storm, obviously, Yuri is very isolated and very alone, and I wanted to show how much of a struggle it was to make a friend, like how anxiety producing it is, like to spend time with others, and show just how hard she has to fight to make friends, and in this mod it's just like you start the game and it's like, oh, she already has all the friends, and it's just again, it's the show versus tell thing. It's like they're telling the audience that she used to be lonely, which, okay, we'll run with that, see where it goes. But it's like, I don't know. It's different style, different preference of how to play things out. I mean, having them be friends, in one sense, means it makes things more tragic when things go wrong later and friendships get ruined. Like, personally, from my standpoint, I think that I preferred the sense of tragedy that I created in showing how freaking hard it was for Yuri to make friends, like to show her struggle and her anxiety every step of the way, like that going to the mall with Natsuki on the Saturday, like how freaking nerve-wracking that was and how fraught that was. Whereas in this version, they just go as a matter of course. I don't know. I again, just different style, different preferences of how to make the story play out. I just think it's more tragic. The loss of the friendship is more tragic if you see how much she struggled to get it in the first place. In this, we don't see that struggle. They're already friends, and we're just informed. Oh, by the way, as almost as an afterthought. Oh, by the way, she used to be lonely. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not, and I'm not saying it's to condemn the mod. It's just I'm just observing that it makes different choices, and we'll see how it plays out. But that's something for another time. It's time to wrap up this recording. I'm probably rambling far too much. So yeah, until next time.